all the parts of the speech are important. Okay, everything is important. But when you talk about communication, like I'm focusing mainly on your communication. So communication wise, verbs, they play an important role. Okay. Now, secondly, prepositions. Okay, so we will do prepositions. I think we will do prepositions in detail, and it will take about 2 classes. So preposition can drive you crazy. Okay, but preposition is something that is quite subjective in nature, and these prepositions are situation based. Okay, so there are a lot of things that is involved when we talk about prepositions. So preposition is a case where you, if you avoid it while speaking, like prepositional phrases, it is better to avoid. But you at times you are not able to avoid prepositions. Okay, now thirdly, let's talk about articles. I taught you articles. Okay, now articles are very important. Okay, now uh, let's talk about adverb. So the definition of adverb is, an adverb is a word that modifies a verb, okay, and an adjective. Sorry. And an adjective. Okay, and adjective. Okay, yeah, and other adverbs. Okay, so even a whole sentence. Okay, like or even a whole sentence. A whole sentence also can be an adverb. Okay, so adverbs are words that can modify verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs. So if you're not familiar with the concept, so if you are not let me tell you more. They provide more information about the manner, yeah, place. Let me talk a lot. Place, time, degree. Anybody can tell me what I mean by degree here? Means the intensity. Okay, degree means intensity, and then there is frequency. Okay, or there could be a reason for action. We are talking about verb here, verb, right? So action is done here. Fine. So like we can tell here, and mostly of like adverb end with an ly, but it is not necessary that they should end with a say. So an adverb in can say in a talkative language, we can say it is something between verb and adjective. Okay, so it tells about the verb, let us take the first example. Tom Longboard did not run badly. So we have an ly here, right? So this is an adjective. Where is the verb?
Run.
Anybody? What is the action? Run, right? So this is the verb, right? You agree with me? Run is the verb, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So how is he running? How is the action happening? We're telling more about the verb, that is badly. Okay. Now Tom is tall. Okay. And how tall is he? Very tall. So very is the adverb here, right? All of you all understand the example of verb, adverb, the meaning of adverb. Now we have
Yes,
some
ma'am.
examples. Okay, we have some examples here. Really, very, well, badly. Okay, we have here the adverb of time, that is today, yesterday, every day. Now, sometimes, often, rarely, early, late, soon, here, there, everywhere. Okay. Okay, now adverbs, like I told you, they often modify verbs. So this means that they describe the way an action is happening. Like I told you, very tall. Yeah. Juan sings loudly in the shower. How is he singing? The action. What is the action? That is the verb. So this is the verb. Okay. And how is he? How is the action happening? We're talking about describe the way of an action. So how is he singing? He is singing loudly. All of you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
How the adverb modifies or tells us more about the action of the verb. Yeah. We have a second example. My cat waits impatiently for his food. Okay, the cat, we move away this impatiently. My cat waits for his food. But how is the cat waiting? Impatiently, right? So we are, wait is the verb here. Okay, and impatiently is the adverb here. Yes, let's take another example. I will seriously consider your suggestion. I will consider your suggestion. It is a perfect sentence. Okay, but this is a casual sentence, right? But when we want to intensify our sentence, we are going to tell seriously. Okay, so let us begin, and we are going to talk about linking verbs. Okay, now in case, let's take this example. Paz feels badly about what happened, because we said adverbs have end with, mostly they end with ly. So here this sentence is correct or wrong? Right or wrong? So the verb doesn't mix well with adverbs. Okay,
Yes.
there are linking verbs such as feel, smell, sound. That is the senses. How many senses we have? We have 5 senses, right? Can anybody tell me the senses? You all have studied, must have studied in science. Yeah. Somebody tell me the senses.
Ma'am,
Yeah, tell me.
Paz feels bad about what happened.
No, no, no. I'm talking about senses. We sense.
Tenses.
We have, yeah. We have
Smell,
how many senses? We have, I
It
think, 4 senses.
describes what
smell, sight, hearing, touch, and
Yeah.
taste.
Smell, hear, touch, taste, and sense. Yeah. So these are the 5 senses. So linking verbs, such as feel, smell, sound, seem, and appear, that typically precede an adjective, are not adverbs. Okay, a very common example of the type of mix-up that happens with linking verbs is the following. So we are talking about badly. So here, we will say Paz feels bad. Okay, this is the adverb about what happened. So because feel is a verb, okay, it seems to call for an adverb rather than an adjective. Okay, but feel isn't just any verb. It is a linking verb. You understand? Linking verb, it is linking. We will do verbs in detail, and it is a very vast chapter, verbs. We will do that, and it will take about 2 classes. We will do that in further. So which means that it links the subject of a sentence to the modifier, for with the modifier that follows it. So since the subject is by definition a noun, that is Paz, yeah, this is the noun. It is modified by an adjective. An adverb would describe how you perform the action of feeling. Okay, this is feel, that is a sense. Okay, or wherever feeling. An adjective describes what you feel. So Paz feels badly means that Paz is bad at feeling things. So if Paz is trying to read Braille through quick leather gloves, then it might make sense for you to say Paz feels badly. But if you're trying to say that Paz is experiencing negative emotion, okay, so Paz feels bad. So this is a phrase that you will want. Means always you understand why we are not adding ly here. If he is feeling, if he is feeling it with the gloves, so you can say I feel badly, right? But if you are adding to the sentence, so I feel bad about what happened. We will, when we will do exercise, you will understand more. So that was the adverbs and adjective. Now we will do adverbs, that was adverbs and verbs. Now we will do adjective. Okay, so adverb that modify adjective. This is the definition of adverb. An adverb modifying an adjective generally adds to the degree of intensity or some other kind of qualification to the adjective. So like, is it beautiful? Yeah. So the lake is quite beautiful. It is lake is beautiful, though it is, I think, adding a degree of intensity. Means how beautiful it is. It is not very beautiful. It is quite beautiful. Okay. Now the book is more interesting than the last one. This book is more interesting than the last one. Moksha, are you free? Can you read the examples for me?
Okay, ma'am. This lake is quite beautiful. This book is more interesting than the last one. Is my singing too loud?
Ask
My
who am.
cat is incredibly happy to be having this his dinner. He will be slightly late to the meeting. This shirt is a very unflattering shade of puce.
Puce is a color. Puce is a color name. Okay. So now you understand we are talking about this is the adjective. Okay. Now this is the adverb. Yeah, and singing is the verb. You understand how I have divided the sentences here, right? So they're talking about modifying the adjective. So what is the adjective? That is too loud, right? So too is the adverb. Okay. Okay. Now adverbs and other adverbs. Okay. So you can use an adverb to describe another adverb. In the following sentence, the adverb almost is modifying the adverb always. Like the weather report is almost always right. So both are adverb here, right? The weather report is right, but it is almost always right. It could also be almost right, but it is almost always right. So we have two adverbs here. Now, in fact, if you wanted to, you could use several adverbs to modify another adverb. Now we have here three adverbs here, right? Juan sings rather enormously too loud. So we are using three adverbs here. Okay. So however often produces weak and clunky sentences, but it is not very practical. Okay. Let us talk about adverbs and sentences. Now, some adverbs can modify entire sentence unsurprisingly. These are called sentence adverbs. Okay. You don't have to mug up the definition. Okay. You just have to understand. Include generally, right? We have generally here, we have fortunately, we have interestingly, we have accordingly. Okay, now sentence adverb don't describe one particular thing in the sentence. Instead, they describe a general feeling about all the information in the sentence. Okay, so how, like I say, I generally don't like cats. Okay, so this is a very general, this is describing the entire sentence, what I feel about cats, right? So fortunately, we got there in time. This is an entire sentence on its own. We got there in time, but we are adding fortunately. Yeah. Interestingly, one at the auction seemed interested in bidding on the antique spoon collection. So we are starting the sentence here with an adverb. And in communication, this is very interesting, and it seems rather effective way of talking. Sorry, excuse me. So it's a very effective way of communication, and when you are using an adverb like fortunately, interestingly, hopefully, right? Now let us talk about comparison. Comparison is important. So we have comparative and we have, when we are comparing, we have comparative and we have superlative. Okay, now comparative and superlative adverbs are used to compare the degree or intensity of an action. Okay, intensity, or can say degree or intensity of an action or state between two or more things. Now, comparative adverbs are used to compare two things and express a higher or lower degree of of an action or state. Now, superlative adverb expresses the highest degree. This is a degree. It could be low, it could be high, or it could be. But when we are talking about superlative, it is the highest degree. Okay. We have an example here. An absolute or positive adverb describes something in its own right. Okay, now he smiled warmly. Now they asked me to deliver a hastily written note. To make the comparative form, now this is comparative, right? We are comparing here. Now, if we want to write in the write this in the superlative form, we will say more warmly or most warmly. Okay, he smiled more warmly or more hastily. To make it superlative, we will often adverb that ends in ly will add most. So more warmly, warmly, more warmly, and superlative will be most warmly. You understand? Warmly is the adverb. This will be sorry. More warmly will be comparative, and most warmly will be superlative. You understand superlative and comparative?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Anybody has any question till now?
No, ma'am.
So far? Okay. So let me tell you, we have a group here. Okay. We have, you must have studied in your earlier classes, fast, faster, fastest. Most enormous it will be. Okay, if you are talking about rather enormously, yeah, it will be the most enormously. I have studied most enormously, in case I make a sentence out of it. So we have fast, faster, fastest. We have soon, sooner, soonest. We don't use soonest, we don't use that. Okay, we have hard, Harder. What is the superlative of harder? Hard.
Hardest.
Anybody?
Hardest.
Hardest. Yeah. Okay. We have late, later. What is the superlative? Anybody?
Latest.
Latest. Yes. Great. Okay. All of you will understand comparative and superlative.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Now we are going to do group 2. So for adverbs that end in ly. Okay. Like warmly. Okay. So we have, so in this group we have slowly, more slowly. It is going to become most slowly. Just a minute. I don't have space to write here. It is going to be more slowly. Most slowly. Okay, if I have quietly, it's going to be more quietly, and it is going to be most quietly. All of you will understand? Let us talk about now the placement of adverbs. Okay, now there are different types of adverbs in English that can modify verbs, adjectives, and other adverbs. Okay, now this was the definition, but adverbs can appear in the beginning, middle, or the end of sentence. Okay, let me give you an example. We have an example here. I almost dropped all the papers I was holding. Okay, I dropped almost all the papers I was holding. Consider the difference in meaning between the following two sentences. The first sentence is correct if it is meant to communicate that you very nearly dropped the paper but managed to hold on to it. Means you did not drop it actually. I almost dropped. Means it was you were about to drop but you didn't drop. But I dropped almost all the papers means you dropped some of the papers but some you were holding. Okay. The verb, you understand how the meaning has changed here. Yeah. Difference in meaning by just one adverb, that is almost, right? So the adverb almost comes right before the verb dropped. So it's most naturally understood as modifying dropped. In the second sentence, almost has moved to modify the adjective all. Here all is the adjective, yeah, and here dropped is the adjective. Understand? So communicating that you did drop most of the papers, but you did not drop, you got only hold of one of a few. So be specifically careful about the word only. Okay, now let me give me Philip only fed the cat. Only fed the cat. Philip fed only the cat means the first sentence means Philip did was feed the cat. That all Philip did. He did not do any other work. Okay, the only work that he did was to feed the cat. Now he didn't pet the cat or pick up the cat, okay, or he didn't do anything else. The second sentence means that Philip fed the cat, but he did not feed the dog or the bird or any other pet. Okay. So when an adverb is modifying a verb phrase, the most natural place for it is usually the middle of the phrase. Okay, now this you understand the places here. Yeah, can somebody read this example?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, read this example.
Okay, ma'am. We are quickly approaching the deadline. Huyan has always loved singing. I will happily assist you.
Yeah. So when an adverb is modifying a verb phrase, the most natural place for it is usually in the middle. You understand? It is in the middle. All the adverbs here are in the middle. Okay. Now, do you want me to now when to avoid adverbs? Okay. Okay. So this is a great example of writer. The trick is to avoid superfluous verbs, adverbs. Like I said, most powerful, huh? So when your word or adjective doesn't seem powerful or precise enough, instead of reaching to an adverb to add more color, try reaching more for a stronger verb. Okay, we are supposed to we this is for your communication. We need to avoid the adverb. Okay, so let me give you an example. The board forcefully to control away from the founder. You can just say the board took control away from the founder, forcefully took control away from the founder. The board wrestled control from the founder. If you find yourself piling on the adverbs, there's lots of adverbs. So if you find yourself piling on adverbs, many times you can come up with a better word and your writing will be stronger. Okay, so we have still to do types of adverb that I will take it. This I will take in next class. We have adverbs of manner, time, movement and direction, adverbs of frequency, adverbs of degree, adverbs of place, probability, demonstrative, relative, interrogative. Okay, we have on the whole, I think we have about 14 adverbs, but we will not do all of them. Okay, so I will meet you all in next class. At present, I'm